Slaking is the 8th raid boss of the Lunar New Year event in PokeMMO 2020-2025. Pretty tough one. Here's some locations. Viridian Forest is pretty easy to get to. If you come from Pewter, it does take a rappel. If you go for Viridian, it's a little bit longer, but does not require a rappel. Lost Thorn's another easy one. The other ones you can figure out probably. I imagine none of them are particularly difficult to get to. Its ability is Truant in classic Slaking fashion, which means that it needs to take a turn of rest after every move used. So its 4 boss actions will effectively be 2 actions or 2 moves until it hits the ability suppression at 25%, in which case it can just use moves freely and becomes a bit of a monster. It doesn't have a leading mechanic, but it can spawn 2 of the elemental monkeys, and if they spawn in opposite or different types, they can combine to use a pledge move. The water and grass pledge is especially problematic. It puts a swamp on your side of the field, which reduces your speed. Slaking has a very high base speed, so if you have the swamp on your side, it could be very problematic. That's pretty much an automatic go next. It's probably easiest just to forfeit rather than specifically dealing with the ads. That is tough for solo queue, but if you're in a link yourself, I would recommend just resetting. It slacks off at around 76%, maybe a little bit higher, 77. You'll need to heal block for that, so you'll probably need heal block on turn 2 or turn 3, depending on how much damage your link is doing. There's a Thunder Wave at 50%, and then, as I said before, the 25% ability suppression. Didn't get the held item. I don't think it's all that important. It's probably something like Silk Scarf to boost the Giga Impact damage. And on that note, it's Moveset, Giga Impact, Ice Punch, then Headbutt, and I was not able to see the 4th move in our fight, and Discord is down, so I can't get it from the community very easily. So it's not all that important. These are the 3 main moves, I would assume. For Giga Impact, it does burn the rest turn during its Truant turn, so it is able to Giga Impact twice for its 4 boss actions. And getting into the battle itself, we lead with Gothitelle to set gravity to make Focus Blast hit. We have 2 Ampharos with plus to use Focus Blast. That makes it do quite a bit of damage despite it being a non-stab move. Choice Specs plus Ampharos hit about 5.1% damage. The benefit of using Focus Blast as well is you can fish for the special defense drops. So this makes Slaking very, very weak to special defense. It's already weak to special defense in that its base stat is 60 versus the 100 defense base stat. If you've already tried the fight, you'll know that using physical attackers feels very painful. I think we saw Choiced Metacham. It might have been Choice Metacham do around like 3.5%. So 5% is very welcome. Next up, you'll see that we set Sun to use Charizard as a solar power Focus Blaster. We're kind of fishing for what we have in the box, and you can do the same. I would recommend potentially Special Infernape or Blaziken using Focus Blast. Additionally, we use that Gothitelle as a single mon to do both gravity for the accuracy, and then it used heal block immediately after to take care of the slack off at 75%. I'd recommend Sweet Scent over Gravity. If the Sweet Scent debuff stays up longer than the Gravity, it could be much better. Otherwise, just use Gravity. You can still bring a few physical attackers, so take care to make sure that if you are bringing a physical attacker, it doesn't need the ability, and if you use it after 25%. So also, additionally, with Gravity, you can't use High Jump Kick. So Sweet Scent makes it a bit better alone for that. So you could just bring 2 Pokemon rather than our Roll Compression, our niche little thing that Rainer pulled off with the Chill and Berry Gothitelle to make sure that it doesn't get hit by Giga Impact. Right here, did get hit by the Thunder Wave for my Charizard. Bit of a problem. Not that big of a deal. We're living extra turns. As you see, Slaking with its 2 moves per turn before the ability suppression, a lot of things can live. You could potentially attempt to use Reflect and Will-O-Wisp. Normally, I would say they're waste of turns, but if you're stuck with all physical attackers, you can probably get away with extending the longevity of your Pokemon to use those 3% to chip down the boss over time. Crobat is a good option for the ability suppression phase to get Tailwind off, obviously. Prankster Murkrow will not outspeed. You'll have to Scarf it. It's better, I think, just to bring the Crobat. You have the option of clicking other moves if need be. And Defog works as a good evasion debuff. It makes Focus Blast hit 93.3 repeating % of the time once you have that -1 evasion debuff. So that's an option late in the fight if you do need additional accuracy support for the Focus Blast. But yeah, Focus Blast is definitely the play here. Getting the special defense drops will make you do much more damage. And we just had the fill Chandelure because Xanarchy didn't have another Pokemon to click Overheat and beat Slaking. So that's all. If you have any questions, I went to the GTL really quickly to flex the Slaking. If you have any questions, I'm in Petrowski's Discord frequently, and I'll post a bit more on terms of what Pokemon do what damage so that you can reference and potentially pick out what you might or might not have. So good luck with this one. It's a bit more challenging, but very doable once you get through it. Good luck and have fun.